What is going on, beautiful people out there? Today we have another review for you, a different kind of review. This time we're doing a truck. Normally it's cars, sports cars, hatches, that sort of thing. Well, got the call from a good friend, and he's got this hot new truck that everyone's trying to buy that you can't currently buy. So I was like, well, why not make a video on it? I think it'd be pretty cool. It's a nice new truck from Ford. It is the 2022 Ford Maverick, as the title of this video states. And for this little truck, what do you get? Well, that's what we're about to find out. Let's dive right in. So right out of the gate, this new truck here from Ford, it slots below the Ford Ranger. So it's a smaller truck than the Ranger. This truck right here, the Maverick, it sits on the same platform as the Bronco Sport. So that gives you some idea, some point of reference as to the size and capabilities of this truck. So that does mean that this is going to be a front wheel drive truck. That might actually be the first of its kind as far as I'm concerned. Speaking of that, you can get this truck in a front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive configuration with either a 2-liter turbo 4 or an optional 4-cylinder with a hybrid power plant. The hybrid has been pretty much out, like cut off, like you can't buy them right now. Same with the turbo versions. They're pretty much sold out. You can't currently get one right now. So these trucks are on order. They're on wait. A lot of people are trying to get them. A lot of people can't get them. And I figured I had the opportunity here to showcase it for you guys here, so why not go ahead and capitalize on that opportunity. So what do you get from Ford with the 2022 Maverick? Get the camera off of me and on to the truck. Right away we have this really cool color. It's kind of like a grayish blue. It's very nice, it's very unique, and apparently from Ford this is the most ordered color right now. So I mean, I can see why. It's very different, it's very unique, makes it stand out. And that's what you're going to want from an all-new vehicle, an all-new model year, all-new series. So, since he's a truck, let's just go ahead and start talking about the truck bits. On to the bed. There is a optional soft open tailgate. So if you would like to not have to manually assist your tailgate, you do have to purchase an optional package for the soft open tailgate. Unlike the, well, anyway. Now, back here, once you're back here, again, you can optionally spring for getting your bed liner coated. As you can see, this one's obviously not. You have this really cool cubby hole back here, and you can open it up, pull out this bottom tray, and it gives you another storage spot beneath it. So handy if you have any bungee straps, ratchet straps, that sort of thing. This is another optional cubby hole that you can option out to have from the factory. And these two are outlets that are powered from the battery that you can pull them out, and it's got a little connector plug if you want to power another accessory that way. So that's a little forethought for the DIY guys out there from Ford. Okay, so let's check out the cabin. What do we have on the new Ford Maverick on the cabin? So, right away, it stands out. It's a big sore thumb. You've got this giant turn dial, so no more Prindle stick. Ford has gone the way of the wayward child and is now providing you with the turn dial for your park, reverse, neutral, drive, and low gear. I don't like it, but it is what it is. Down here, you have your modes and some more functions. So you've got your auto start stop, your brake hold function. This is to change your driving type. Probably won't show it there. Let me get that stuff off the screen. There you go. So tow haul mode, slippery, eco, sport, normal. Got your electronic parking brake, and of course you've got your traction control button. There you go. You got full touch for your multi-information display. You got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The UI looks nice, it's decent. It's pretty much like any new Ford if you've messed around with a new Ford, so there's not much on that front. You've got 911 assist, Bluetooth, Ford Pass Connect, some mobile apps. You've got Wi-Fi hotspot. You can update the vehicle, Apple CarPlay stuff, ambient lighting stuff, your phone stuff. All your normal controls are right here. This one's a single zone climate. USB-C and normal USB. Of course, cup holders. They've got this weird orange accent thing going on that you can see on the vents, and like this little cubby hole down here, this little cubby hole down here. It's on the stitching of the seats. It's on the vents, so it's right here on the little door handle. So it's got some weird stuff going on. Speaking of the door handle, actually, let me turn this exposure down. They've got this weird two-tone going on here with this like plastic, kind of like a marble-esque. Somebody commented it looks like a porta potty. Here in the back seat, don't mind my camera bag. Of course, you got your armrests and cup holder duo. These seats look like they come down for storage in the back. That would be correct. So you got storage in the back. Reminds me of the Tacoma. I wonder if these come up too. Yeah, looks like this seat comes up too. There you go. So you got storage down there, bike helmet, some other stuff. Very nice. Back here you've got another USB-C, 120 volt, 400 watt power inverter. It's decent room. So I'm a tall guy. I am 6'1", 6'2", depending on who you ask. And you can see my room. Let me close this door. So you can see my room. I was sitting, obviously I'm driving the vehicle. So that's my current driving position. And you can see that with a tall gentleman like me driving the vehicle, you can still fit another me behind you. Not the most comfortable, but it is definitely doable. And that's probably the most important part, that it's doable. You can actually fit without feeling like you're being scrunched up. Backseat space is decent. All in all, this truck so far, it's a cool little truck, you know. I can see it's being designed for people that just want a truck for like truck potential, but that don't normally do truck stuff. You know, you're not normally hauling stuff or pulling big stuff that often, but the occasional pull a small boat, canoe, camper, something like that. Carry your bikes, which is what the owner of this truck uses it for. He does a lot of biking and mountain biking, so he uses it for his bikes, where it's all the bike helmet down there. So if you're doing like small trucky things, but you don't want to commit to a giant full-size truck, I can definitely see the appeal to something like this. Now, keep in mind, it is front-wheel drive. So if you are going to be doing something on the trail or dirt, beach, off-road, you definitely want to spring for an all-wheel drive variant. Okay guys, you ready? You're all buckled in, strapped in over there? Alright. You can see right here if you don't have your seatbelt on, so I know. Anyway, so 2022 Ford Maverick. How does it drive? Let's find out. But before we do that, let's rattle off some specs for our nerd-minded friends out there like myself. Okay, you ready? Alright, so I'm gonna read off my notes here so I don't get anything wrong, so you guys have the exact accurate specifications. Right? So, like I said before, we have the 2-liter 4-cylinder making 250 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, 277 pound-feet of torque at 3,000 RPM, coupled with an 8-speed automatic transmission. Okay? Wheelbase, if you want to know, 121 inches and 121 inches and then 199.7 inches in length. So it's pretty decent. It's a pretty small vehicle. Like I said, it's underneath the Ranger. It's on the Bronco Sport chassis platform. But estimated 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds. You got a quarter-mile time of 14.5 seconds at 95 miles per hour. And it reaches 100 miles per hour at 16.4 seconds. So it's not super fast, not stupid slow either. It's decently quick for what it is. Average fuel economy. So This one right now on the dash, it's telling me it's been getting 31.8 miles per gallon. That's pretty freaking cool for a truck. I mean, like, that's amazing. It's rated at 25 combined, 22 city and 29 highway. And right now at 31.8, it's blowing that out of the water. So they definitely underrated it from the EPA, which is usually the opposite of what they do. So that's cool. Pearson strut up front and multi-link rear suspension in the back. So it does ride very nice. It's very smooth. It's very subtle. And I'll demonstrate that here once we start driving momentarily. And it's got a curb weight of about 3,800 pounds. So again, not super heavy, not super light, but for a truck, that's actually pretty lightweight. So let's see how it drives. I'm actually gonna start in sport because I was already in normal driving to this location to film this B-roll for you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and put in sport and we're gonna see how she do, what it feels like. So something needs to be said for that direct injection pump. You guys can probably hear it. I took a little clip of it exclusively. It's got this gnarly whine, like it's insane. And I don't know how Ford engineers just sent the truck out with that, without sound deadening. Apparently from my friend who owns the truck, he said that the higher trim models get more sound deadening and an optional engine cover with more sound deadening that'll probably quiet it down. And I'm like, thinking to myself, Ford, are you really nickel and diming your customers like that? Like, if you want a quiet truck, pay us more money. I feel like the base truck should have a base quietness. And then from there, it, you know, will depict. But no, Ford's like, nah, bro, you're getting slow right off the bat. So right away, I can definitely feel the eagerness being in sport mode compared to normal mode. On my drive over here in normal mode, it felt like a normal, sluggish, boring truck. But here I am in sport mode, and yeah, it's way more eager to rev, and it definitely transforms the truck. My friend was not lying. He was like, dude, put it in sport mode, like it's gonna blow you away. And I'm like, yeah, it'll be different. No, it's way different. So definitely, if you want the truck to feel like it has any sort of gut, leave it in sport mode, because this is nice. This is actually, it actually feels like it makes 250 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. You can feel that in sport mode. In normal mode, you can't feel that at all. All right, so now we're on the highway. We're cruising at 60 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour. Right now, I'm not sure what gear it's in. It just shifted, so it went from 3,000 to 2,000 RPMs. So I'm gonna guess it's in probably 7th, maybe 8th gear right now. And it's smooth. It's nice and supple. It's quiet. You don't hear that direct injection pump whine like you did before, so that's nice. This is a very comfortable ride, I do have to say. It's got nice ergonomics, a nice seating position. The seats are different. It's got like this kind of like a jean fabric pattern design. It's different, but it's nice. So let's pull off here at this nice sweeping left or right hand turn and see how the handling feels. Very nice. Wow, very composed. Very composed. There was like no drama. It turned in very nice. The suspension, it's supple. It's comfortable, even in sport mode. I can see why my friend picked this up as his daily vehicle to and from work and to and from the bike trails. This is comfortable. Like, I was skeptical because it's a cheap Ford, and I know how cheap Fords typically are. But no, this is actually really comfortable. And like I said, in sport mode, it definitely wakes the chassis up, wakes the engine up, wakes the transmission up. It feels proper. It feels good. Everything's nice and warm now, and yeah, it's pretty cool. You can probably hear that pump as it's downshifting. It sounds like, you know, when you rode a bike as a kid and you wanted it to act like it was a motorcycle or to have some exhaust, and you'd like crush a can and put it in your back tire? That's what this direct injection pump sounds like. It sounds like you're riding around the neighborhood with a can stuck in your tire. And like, it's ridiculous. I can't believe Ford sent the truck out the plant with this noise. You don't hear it when you're cruising on the highway, but any sort of acceleration, any city speed, like low speed, you hear it. I guess if you're talking to people or you have music on the radio, you won't hear it. Wow, that turned really well right there. So I took it to this little S section that I know about over here on these roads, and wow, that did not feel like a truck. This feels like a car. It feels like a car. It rides higher up. Like, it's got really nice suspension. Like, I'm kind of surprised I'm saying this about a truck, about a Ford truck no less, but it's got really nice suspension. Let's try this roundabout here. I can feel the back end hopping a little bit, but honestly, that was really good. Like, that's a smaller, tighter roundabout than the larger one we were at earlier, and it handled that really well. Back to this X section in the other direction. On the brakes, it's got nice braking. The turn-in is very nice for being a front-wheel drive truck. Like, I'm actually blown away by how well this drives. I kind of hate the fact that it drives so well. No, this is actually pretty cool. The infotainment system, it's like I said, it's simple. If you've used a newer modern Ford, it's the same. If you haven't used a newer modern Ford, go to the dealership and use one, and you'll see what I mean. Well, if you can find a new Ford at a dealership to sit in, which is kind of why I'm making this video, because like, these trucks are, you can't get them right now. And I was like, well, why not? I'll share my thoughts. So these are the thoughts from a car guy. I love sports cars. I love small, tight, fast cars. I generally hate trucks and SUVs. So for someone like me to get into this truck and actually think it drives well, has to say a lot for the way it's engineered. I have to say that. Because I just hopped out of my fucking little BMW sports car, and this thing actually still feels pretty good. Like, it's got nice tight handling, it's not wobbly. It didn't understeer where I thought it would understeer. It turned in really well. It's got nice grip. Like, for being a front-wheel drive truck, I am thoroughly impressed with how this thing drives. I get it. I get it. This is smooth. I am curious how it picks up. I've just been cruising like normal. I mean, it's what the truck's gonna be used for, is cruising. You're not gonna be drag racing or launching off the line of this thing, but for my own curiosity and peace of mind, we'll take a little pull and see what it feels like. But yeah, you definitely got to leave it in sport mode. You put it in normal and it's bland. It's blah. I was like, this is nothing. This is boring. But I put it in sport and it woke up the entire chassis very well, actually. And a lot has to be said for that. So a low speed, tight turn, very nice. I have a Silverado in front of me. Other than that atrocious sounding direct injection pump, it's quiet. It's a quiet cabin. This one does have the optional blind spot monitoring system, so that does come in handy. That I didn't need to say. So if you want safety aids, like driver safety aids, like your blind spot monitoring, your 360 view camera, your lane tracing alert, your dynamic range cruise control, or your adaptive cruise control, in order to get those aids with this truck, the new Maverick, you have to get one of the higher trims, like the XLT. This one's the XLT, so it has the blind spot monitoring, or the Lariat, which is going to have pretty much everything. So like the push button start, keyless entry, all that stuff. So if you want those safety and technology features, you need to get the top of the line Lariat. Another thing to keep in mind, if you want the turbo engine, you can get it with the front wheel drive or all wheel drive. Although if you want the hybrid, it's only going to be the non-turbo engine. And the hybrid, again, you can get in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. But this is pretty cool. So here we are at the larger roundabout. All right, camera stopped for some reason. Anyway, I sped up and the pre-collision system started going off like crazy. So that's good, it works. No, the pickup on this thing is surprisingly good. You know, it's a turbo engine, makes decent torque. And like I said, just driving around the suburbs and on the highway, this thing is nice. It's not fast, but it's not slow either. Like, you know, thinking about like how the Rangers used to be and all the other smaller cheap trucks from Ford, they were always terrible. They drove terrible, they rode terrible, they were slow, cheap materials, cheap everything, and they were just basically a work mule. This changes that. This is actually a comparable work truck or a comfortable daily truck. Like, you can do either one, either two things, and that's pretty cool. So I just wanted to make this quick little video. I have no idea how long it's going to be. I'm going to guess like 10, maybe 15 minutes long. But anyway, I had to share my thoughts on this new Ford Maverick. I've been hearing a lot about it. It's sought after, people want it. The brother to this truck is actually the Hyundai Santa Cruz. And if you want to tow like 5,000 pounds or more, you need the Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz tows more for some reason. This one is rated at about a 4,000 pound tow rating. So there you have it. If you need to tow more than 4,000 pounds, you need to get either the higher trim or you need to go to the Santa Cruz variant, because for some reason that one tows higher. I guess that's the contract they have, but yeah, that's where it's at. So this is the 2022 Ford Maverick. It's a pretty cool truck. It's very comfortable. It's easy to drive. It's got decent pickup for what it is. 250 horsepower, 277 torque. You can get it in all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, gas, or hybrid. I'm not towing, it's not slippery. Echo is just not me. We'll go back to normal for the neighborhood part. And this is cool. Yeah, this is a nice little truck. Battery died. Anyway, I'm wrapping this video up. That is, like I said, the 2022 Ford Maverick. I don't know what that smell is. I just started smelling it when I stopped. Well, we're heading back anyway, so yeah. Yeah, cool truck. It's nicer than I thought. I didn't know what to expect. I had very low expectations, I will admit. But no, it's nicer than I thought. I understand why my friend loves it, why he enjoys it, and I definitely can see the appeal to this truck. When I first read about it and was like, wait, front-wheel drive truck? Why? But then you think about it, most SUVs are front-wheel drive, so I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, most economy cars are front-wheel drive because the packaging, the engineering is easier that way, which is why they do it. And it gives you more cabin space, which again, ergonomics, economy, that's why they do it. So if you need the truck to be truck stuff or off-road, get the all-wheel drive. If you just want the optional space of a truck, but the comfort and ergonomics of a car, front-wheel drive works just fine. So yeah, that's gonna wrap this video up. It smells like something's burning all of a sudden. I don't know why. So we're gonna look into that. And remember to like us, subscribe, do something awesome. Peace.